Does your baby cry and struggle every time they go into tummy time? Here's the deal. It's a really important thing to do, but sometimes it's hard as a parent to let them do it. So let's talk about why tummy time is important and how you can help your baby get more comfortable with tummy time. A lot of people try things from mirrors to toys to doing tummy time with your baby to skin contact, and all of those things are good and help for a second, but typically baby will shift to a lot of crying and just being uncomfortable with the whole situation relatively quickly. And so it's not just that they need a distraction while they're in tummy time, or that they just need to build up a resilience to tummy time. There's a lot more to the puzzle than just that. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. It's all about honing in on their nervous system and helping them shift to a calmer state so that they can do tummy time better. Our babies get stuck in a fight or flight mode, and that can come from trauma during the birth process. It can also come from in utero stress. Those things build up and shift a baby into a fight or flight mode, and then they can't adapt appropriately when they get put into a somewhat stressful position like tummy time, which is a very beneficial position for milestones and a whole bunch of other things down the road. But if they're stuck in a fight or flight mode when they get put into a stress mode, then their nervous system just becomes overstimulated altogether, and then they can't do that thing appropriately or adequately enough to gain the milestone development that they need from being in that position. So let's talk about some things that you might notice in your baby that they're going through that are correlated to not having adequate enough tummy time. If you put your baby in tummy time and they go into that Superman on their chest position, or they very quickly try and roll to their back with the weight of their head, and flop over to the side, then there's a sure sign that probably they need to do more tummy time. A lot of babies that come to us that are dealing with this sort of specific scenario will experience something called plagiocephaly. Plagiocephaly is where a baby's head has a flat spot on one side or multiple sides of their head, and that's typically because the bones of the skull aren't coming together in an appropriate manner. The bones of the skull are kind of like my fingers here. Your fingers, as they come together, if we were to link them together in this position, should kind of fit just like this. That's literally how the bones of the skull are. And what will happen with plagiocephaly is, rather than coming together nice and smooth and together like that, it'll almost come together like this, where they're not interlocking. They are interlocking, but they're not interlocking appropriately. And so a baby that spends too much time on their back or in a bouncer or in a car seat will develop these flat spots. And part of it is they need to get more tummy time to activate the musculature to help pull those bones of the skull more appropriately together, as opposed to in that inappropriate manner. A baby that has plagiocephaly or a really flat head, it might be because they have tightness in their neck, or it might be because they are being laid on their back too often. These are certainly contributing factors, but if we can help their whole body relax overall, shift them out of a fight or flight mode, then they're going to be able to do tummy time more often, and flat head issues isn't going to be as big of a problem. This kind of connects to another issue, something that we call torticollis, or basically where a baby is either tilted to the side because the muscles of the neck are too tight, or they're rotated entirely to that side because, again, those muscles of the neck are too tight. When a baby has torticollis, then that capability and that ability and desire to go into a good appropriate tummy time position just can't happen the way that it should, because it's tight. Like, it hurts to turn their head to center to help tilt them back in that tummy time position appropriately. And so getting adjusted helps rewire that neurology, the muscle, the signal from the brain to the muscle, so that their body can do what it's supposed to do and do it more appropriately. A lot of babies that have torticollis will have a flat spot on one side of their head as opposed to a flat spot back here. This next one surprises a lot of parents. It's digestive issues, things like not digesting or pooping appropriately, or maybe being a little bit colicky or gassy is a big one. And the reason is the vagus nerve is housed in this area right here at the brainstem. And when baby goes into that tummy time arch position where they tilt their head back, right, and they're looking around a little bit, that specific position stimulates the vagus nerve, which activates the rest, heal, digest, calm side of the nervous system. And so when they're able to do tummy time, even if it's just for a little bit at first, and then they build up over time to longer amounts of time, that helps their digestion in a massive way. A baby that hates tummy time will also not sleep super good typically because they're stuck in a fight or flight mode and they are constantly being drawn and pulled forward into this fearful posture. And an open, relaxed posture like this, that's a parasympathetic or resting, healing, digesting posture. But a baby that doesn't like tummy time will often want to drive their face towards the floor or to whatever surface that they're on because they're stuck, right? They're stuck in this fight or flight mode. They don't know how to do this. It scares them. And so getting adjusted, again, helps activate that vagus nerve so that they can shift into a more relaxed state and they sleep better. What really ties all these things together, if I haven't made it clear enough, is that it's the nervous system that's stressed out, not necessarily the physical limitation, not necessarily the emotional sadness of being in tummy time. It's that the nervous system is overstimulated, and so their brain and their body can't correlate and connect how to do tummy time appropriately. And so then they start to miss those important milestones down the road because they missed this very one key imperative milestone to begin with. So here's why chiropractic helps. At Renegade Chiropractic, we do what we call insight scans, which give us a very key look into the nervous system so that we can figure out, okay, what's going on with your baby's nervous system? Where is this fight or flight stress stuck on their nervous system? Where do we need to use our very gentle and specific adjustment to help your baby shift from a surviving state to a thriving state? Oftentimes what we'll find is that the stress is stuck specifically up here in the neck region. Sometimes it's lower down in the neurospinal region too, but typically it's up here to begin with, and then we start to see things kind of open up and other stressors reveal themselves. But the key spot is making sure that we figure out, okay, where is that stress stuck? Is it up here? Remove that stress, and then watch again as they shift from just a surviving state to a thriving state. And I've seen it time and time again, very specific situations that I've just walked you through, where parents have said, hey, these are the things that my kid's struggling with: flathead issues, torticollis, not digesting or sleeping well. And we start getting the baby adjusted, and they're able to do tummy time, stimulating that vagus nerve, allowing their body to do more of what it's supposed to do. It's super, super cool. If your baby is struggling with tummy time, what I want you to do is shoot us a message. You can say, keep it simple for yourself. Message us tummy time. We can talk more about what's going on with your baby. Or if you want to tell us more of your story, we'd love to hear it so that we can help you figure out how you can move from that surviving state to a thriving state. It's not that your baby's destined to miss milestones. It's just that you need a map to figure out how to help them hit those milestones, and we're here for it.